First, local, live. Now from Central Oregon's news leader, this is KTVZ News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for KTVZ News at 6. I'm Lee Anderson.
And I'm Lindsay Harris. Just this week, at least 24 fires were started by lightning. 4 new fires started just within the past 24 hours.
Yeah, and it's not just Central Oregon dealing with this issue. Isabella Warren tells how the Department of Forestry tracks and responds to these strikes.
We're just a week into July, and already this fire season has been busy. In just 10 days, hundreds of wildland firefighters have been deployed across the state following intense lightning and dry conditions. Officials with the Oregon Department of Fire say so far this season is similar to last year, though they've seen more vehicles sparked fires. However, the early start we saw in June with the Rowena fire and the Ferry fire are causing long-term staffing issues. I spoke with ODF on how they track lightning strikes in the area and what they're preparing for this August.
We have the multi-mission aircraft, and that aircraft will then go up, basically following these storms, behind the storms, and they'll go up and start detecting fires so that we can get firefighters out to new starts as early as possible. It kind of puts a bit more of a strain on those resources. So we are anticipating the fire season to pick up even more, and we're preparing for that.
Last year, July and August were rough. In August of 2024, nearly 13,000 wildland firefighters were on the ground battling the mega fires burning in the east. Because this year's season started so early, we've already dipped into the state wildfire funding. Governor Tina Kotek had recommended pulling out of the rainy day fund to help, as last year's season cost the state $350 million. Isabella Warren, KTVZ News.
And we have good news tonight on one of those lightning strike-caused fires. While the Willow Fire has now grown to more than 4,000 acres, Level 3 Go Now evacuations have dropped to Level 1.
Let's take a look at the evacuation map right now. If you live in this green area, you're under a Level 1. Be ready to go. Here's video of the blaze burning yesterday in a remote area of southeastern Crook County. It's mostly on public land and has scorched more than 4,400 acres. Right now, containment's still at 0%, but better conditions today allowed crews to start building a fire line and work on securing the perimeter.
Chief Meteorologist John Carroll is certified in fire weather behavior. He's tracking an incoming heat wave. John, has there been any changes at the Willow Fire today?
Yeah, unfortunately, there has been a wind shift, which is never really a good thing when battling wildfires. Yesterday, we had the fires coming from the northwest, and today they're coming down from the north. So let's take a look here at what is going on. And what we're looking at is a north wind. Now, yesterday, as the winds were coming in from the northwest, the focus was down here in the southeastern fire line, or the southeastern perimeter. Now, as the winds come from the north, we have to be a bit more concerned about the growth further to the south and west. So that is problematic for them, but the winds are really not all that robust, but they're noticeable, about 10 miles an hour and gusting to 20. As you mentioned, there is some dry air in the area, and that is never a good recipe when fighting fires as well. Water vapor imagery indicates to us the dry pattern. When you see the yellow, the orange, that is a very dry pocket of air, and that is right over top of Oregon. So we do have some problems with dry air. Now we're going to factor in the heat. Tomorrow we're going to get up into the 90s pretty much everywhere except Sun River, 88, but we're getting to 100 in Warm Springs. So we are beginning now this process of the major warm up as we move forward in time. Good news is that these fires are not throwing out a lot of smoke for us, but they still are going to be visible, or still going to be active as we move forward through time. And I'll talk about that coming up.
During this wildfire season, we here at KTVZ want to make sure you stay up to date on new fires. For the most comprehensive coverage in Central Oregon, always turn to KTVZ Fire Alert. You'll find it on our website, ktvz.com, or our mobile news app. Have you ever wanted to help someone who really needed it? There's a group dedicated to protecting vulnerable children, and they're looking for people like you to join their mission. CASA, or Court-Appointed Special Advocates, are specially trained volunteers helping children who've experienced abuse or neglect. They work with attorneys and caseworkers to help children navigate the legal system. CASA members are the voices for the children in court, making sure they find their way to safe and stable homes.
I often hear from people, oh, I bet it's so difficult. And what I keep in mind and tell people is that I have heard it called heartbreaking in terms of some of the things you realize have happened in the lives of children that shouldn't happen. But it is heart-mending because you are given a place to actually impact their lives in a positive way.
Next week, training seminars run Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 12:30, with another round of classes coming in September. Once you complete the course, you'll be sworn in by a judge and start working alongside other CASA volunteers. Right now, more than 80 children in Deschutes County are waiting for someone to stand up for them.
Just a few weeks before Joshua Smith was set to stand trial for murdering his mother, he's now agreed to a plea deal. Smith admitted he was guilty of recklessly causing her death. The crime shocked neighbors when we first reported it back in March of last year. Court documents said Smith had a violent interaction with his mother at their Legacy Landing apartment in Northeast Bend. His mother, Janice Smith, died of blunt force trauma from the altercation. It was not the first time he became violent with her. One of Smith's many arrests came back in 2018 after he hit her in the head with a rock. Neighbors said he suffered from schizophrenia and drug abuse.
I seen him yesterday, unfortunately, right after it happened. He was acting extremely strange, so I knew he was tweaked up. But nobody would ever think that this would happen. I'm not going to condemn her son. I know he had drug and mental issues, but it's a very tragic, just horrible.
Janice Smith was described by neighbors as being happy, outgoing, and someone who deeply loved her son. She was 59 when she passed.
Coming up on KTVZ News at 6, from escaping war to returning to the stage, a Ukrainian refugee and cellist finds peace in the Oregon music scene.
Continued growth with our business is really important for us.
Maybe pass it off to the children if
Yeah,
they want to do it.
maybe pass it off to our kiddos if they want to do it.
And up next, a local business celebrates 50 years serving Central Oregon. From realtors to restaurants and retail, how this sign shop has stood the test of time.